Ian Cars, and Richie, the absolute legend.
Legends! Richie a legend! He's definitely a legend. What?
Quickly say hello to everyone in the other YouTubes.
Well, let me see.
Since you're streaming.
Oh, is he? Oh, we got Superfast. Is that what we're going to call him now? Superfast! No, because he's a Zavisic. It's Superfast. See what I did there?
Well, £20
like
goes to anyone who can take Zavisic out today.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to do that for two reasons. One, I'm not driving, so that lets me off the hook, and I might not need to say the next one, but it's because I'm crap. So there you go.
Well, you're getting better, mate. You was getting some goals pretty quickly last night. I was watching while you were streaming.
That's true. Well, I got the goals. I don't know about the pretty quick thing. There's some of them where I was like, what? I'm getting annoyed with myself, and then I had to remember the goal of this is to pass each thing and then get the thing at the end, the multiplayer, so I could do this now. You know, that was my goal. So I just thought, what you need to do, Andrew, is not worry about it.
This is it. This is it. You've just got to enjoy the game. I think as soon as it becomes effort, the point of the whole getting in the car and driving is negligible, in my opinion. So I try and every time I go on now, especially with Gran Turismo Sport, and what I love about this is it's bringing back my childhood memories of when I used to play Gran Turismo 1 and 2. And it's beautiful to see it. You know, new cars, old cars, 4K. You know, amazing physics. I'm fortunate enough to have a Fanatec CSL Elite, which even the G29 is still an incredible wheel, and I do miss that wheel.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the G29. Obviously, I've not tried anything else, but compared with... Put it this way, when I enjoyed being able to tell everybody how much I hated Gran Turismo 7 last night, but then find bits of it I really liked, if that makes any sense to you. When it first switched on, when it arrived on Thursday and I installed it, and it came up, and you have no idea what's going on, and it's playing this music at you and talking about music stuff, and I know you have to earn lots of things. I'm thinking, damn, I've got to do all these music things. So I'm sat on my chair with my pad, because the wheel wasn't set up, and tried to do one of the music things on the pad. Did not do very well. But then when I got on the wheel, easy, Alsace. Got a goal.
This is it. Well, pad is amazing. Mikey, great to see you. I do probably need to say hello to everyone in chat. Craig, you legend. Where's Craig? Is he on the track?
Who?
There he is. Craig is in the Tour FT1 today. And hello to Rue. Nice.
Hello.
Nice
How you doing?
See you, Rue. And Mayak, I hope I pronounced that right.
Check it out.
Hello, welcome, Mad Matthew, and the beautiful Peugeot. Angels fan, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Nero Death, good to see you again. It's a pleasure to see you every morning. Mikey, it's great to have you here. Hope you're doing well today. Hope your new car's treating you well as well. And Ali Hussein, hello and welcome. And Dirk, Dirk, Diaco Bub, who is one of the founders, as well as Maxi, I believe, for bestlivery.com. So again, if you are looking for a top-class pad, world-class, and I do put my name on that, then get in touch with bestlivery.com. I'm going to be unveiling a new creation for Rory Alexander from Eries. As he's made a few changes, he's gone full-time now, he's quit his job, and I just want some back. So we're gonna give some money to Dirk to make sure he does the best job possible.
Now, which Dirk are we talking about? Because Mugilina's also a Dirk, isn't he?
That's very true. We're talking about Diaco.
Diaco, yes. The mad hog rider. Or is it a mad bad hog rider? I don't know.
Indeed. Well, we are moments away.
Why is this not right?
Women have internet issues for the moment.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to sort out change views, that one. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm trying to work out, because I've not set up my controllers yet. I didn't know what buttons to press to change my view. There you go, that's what I wanted to do. Good. So I was just going on to my options to find out, because I like specific views. It's not my normal button. Right. Marvellous. Right, why is racing?
Maxi, welcome to the chat, my friend. Currently watching you go around in your beautiful Honda NS X, and I do appreciate your work on the liveries as well. I'll be mentioning the race for Ukraine today, and again, the donation links are in live streams of everyone that's live streaming today. I know Savage live streaming. Whether Dio is live streaming, unless he's on the Switch. Jakob has gone live, GT Mujalina is live, so please feel free to go, give these boys a like, and give these boys a subscribe, say hello in chat. Amazing.
I'd say hello Diaco, because Mr. Diaco said hello to me in your chat. So if I miss anyone saying hello in either chat, it's either because I'm in the wrong chat, because, you know, I've only got the one screen to look at this juncture, or I didn't see you because I'm not looking, or I hate you and I'm ignoring you. So one of those three. But obviously this is Ukraine for love, so it won't be that last one much often, you know, only like twice. Obviously Maxi I hate, because he took me out over the mountain at Bathurst, and I'm still crying about that. It's not fair, because I was doing really well, and I'm not really upset, but I'm practicing crying on camera. There you go, how's that? Good?
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, again, we have got kids watching, but I don't mind a little bit of Putin go home, you know, which is what we've got on.
I will
car.
Restrict my naughty words to the ones that everyone knows, even kids. Well, depending where you live. Around here, they all know all the words, but you know. But you know, he's a nice lad. I don't want to corrupt him, because by saying words like pop music. No, not pop music. I like pop music. I do it with pop music. What's the rubbish they do these days that includes the Spice Girls? He never ever needs to hear that, because it's just, I don't know, it might psychologically damage him for the rest of his life, and everybody else. In fact, it did me. You know, it's like when I found out that Emma Stone was a massive Spice Girls fan on the Graham Norton show, and it's like, I liked you. I did. And then she said, girl power, and it's like, oh, girl power. Get, how many were there? 4, 5 talentless people, do a marketing campaign on them, and you've got the next step after Stockton and Waterman. Yay! The world really needed
it's
that.
Very true. And is it Chris or Christian Horner from F1?
Christian Horner with Jerry Halliwell. Yes.
Jerry Halliwell, the Spice Girl. That's it. There we go.
But I've got to say,
he's a lucky man.
I've actually got to say, now she's stopped trying to sing, because I actually remember the Trouble of Fox when she did her solo. I'm going to call it a song, just because I can't be bothered to think of another word for it, and we've agreed I'm not swearing today. And what she had was a group of fantastic backing singers, and then you could hear this monotone, out-of-key drone, and that was her. But she looked hot, and she was dancing around a lot. But she's actually a really quite likeable person, you know?
Indeed.
I'd go to a party with her, and I wouldn't do anything, because I'm not that kind of guy, but I think she'd be fun, you know what I mean? We could talk about motor racing. And that's good.
This is it. Hello to Bug. Is it Juan, your name? No, it's not Juan.
Right,
Bug
okay.
has a beautiful 500 horsepower suit as well.
Is he from Brazil or Portugal?
It's a good question. We'll wait for his reply in chat.
Just trying to help, because if he's from Spain, it's Juan. If he's from, it's a J. If it's Portuguese, which is Brazil, that kind of stuff. I used to have a friend called Jose. He was from Sao Paulo, and people used to call him Jose, and he's like, no, I'm not Jose. I'm not Jose. I'm Jose, and we're all like going, yeah, but you speak the Spanish. Well, I didn't, because I'm not a moron, and he looked angry. you know. But no,
I
it's
do just want
Jose.
to point out, Roo.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, you can continue if you want to.
No, you carry on.
I've just noticed
Yeah.
that leading the current qualifying session, because there is no qualifying, this is the qualifying practice.
Oh, okay.
Golden Botto is just under a 10th, but is a sniff away from Zavicic. Zavicic currently in P2. He's also just gone into the pits, but Golden Botto in the Super.
No way.
Taking P1 from Italy is Mr. Maru.
Oh, excellent. No, I mean we'll work on the. It's been a little while since we've done our thing together, so I will defer to you because you're the lead commentator, and also, especially if you can actually be talking about the racing, which frankly is the point, I suppose. You know, to the commentary of a race, as opposed to the ramblings that I do. Shut me up. You get in there. You get in there. That's what I'm saying. Get in there. Right, so let's look at Golden Botto. He's a very nice looking car. Wrong button. I'm not used to this button. There you go. No. Okay.
Let's have a little look here. We've got 40.
How do I look backwards?
Lee Monkey, just give me a moment, because there is a couple of people in here that
There you go.
might not necessarily should be. So just let me just sort that out. Ruth, can you just give me a minute if you can entertain the beautiful...
Jawohl, no problems at all. Diaco tells me nobody in Germany says jawohl. Now, people used to say it to me all the time. Jawohl. Mind you, I lived in... Jawohl, yeah, you know, like as a... Jawohl! Will you do this? Jawohl! And if they were angry, doch! So, I don't know what it's like, because aren't you in Berlin? Herr Thorsten? Is that
Berlin.
correct? Berlin? Is this...
Berlin.
Berlin?
This is correctly
I can say...
German.
Ich bleibe hier! That's
Ich
the bit.
bin ein Berliner.
Yes. I watched a play right at my end of my year in Ludwigshafen am Rhein, in the Pfalz, which is next to Mannheim, which is one of the places that the car was invented, and not far from Heidelberg, another one of the places the car was invented, motor car. I went to the Mannheim Nationaltheater and watched Die Weiße Rosel, which is a kind of a musical play that friends of mine were in. And there were all these different accents, and I was really pleased because I could tell there was like this Berlin guy is sat on a chair outside of this hotel, Die Weiße Rosel, in the Schweiz, I believe, and somebody wanted him to move, and he says, "Ich bleibe hier," like that. That was funny.
Heyo! Hi Matt, hi
How are we
Ru.
doing? Welcome.
Guten Abend. Ich bin eine Kugelschreiber. What?
Yes. Kugelschreiber.
There's a history to
Jawohl.
that. Jawohl, you see? It's telling me off already. It's not fair. I try. I got back
No
from
one says
Germany,
jawohl.
and no one says, you see? Halt!
No one.
You'll be surprised to know there's one other phrase I know, auf Deutsch, and that is halt die Klappe.
That is the correct
Engländer!
one.
Engländer, halt die Klappe! Du gebabbelst
behind me.
zu viel! Oh, was babbelst du, Indy? Those were the days. I really liked that place.
Oops.
Whoopsie! Whoops! I also know that a German dog says wow wow.
Wow, wow.
Wow wow.
The German dog says wow, wow, yes.
Yep. I got that from Herr Alfred Schult, who was 54 and a Techniker in my Labor. Lovely bloke. He was the one that played me Resi, ich hol dich mit mein Traktor ab.
Resi, ich hol dich mit meinem Traktor ab.
Resi, ich hol dich mit mein Traktor ab. Do 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 do. A great song. What a great song.
Not really.
No, it was terrible, but it was a fun day. Funny as Cowboy, funny and Vines. Tangent? What are you talking about? Tangents. I don't do tangents. I do meanderings. They're very different. Okay. Tangent is off in a direction, but I at least always intend to come back. It's like Bathurst. You go up the mountain, but eventually you come back to the start. You know?
Yes.
If you're lucky.
Eventually.
You don't hit a wall.
Now, I can't. I've got my keyboard plugged in, but I have no commands from my keyboard, so hopefully that's something that they will add to Gran Turismo 7, because that was... I've missed that feature, being able to choose different camera angles and whatnot. But never mind.
Is this something you just need to learn, you know, as you get used to GT7, or is it just stopped working altogether?
There isn't an option to put it on, yeah. There was a keyboard option in GT Sport.
Yeah. Oh yes, in the option menu. I wonder if that's in the main options, because there are some things in there that, you know, that's kind of weird. GT7 does some interesting screechy noises for the tyre noises. It's kind of like, instead of it being screech, it's a squeak, 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 as it goes around the corner. It is on mine anyway. That's weird. Just little things I'm noticing. Carry on, sorry.
No, I'm just thinking 6 minutes and we'll get it going. Dead on 1:15.
6 minutes?
Yeah, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can count to 4.
Yeah, we've shortened the race a little bit as well. We was going to do 2 hours, but for 2 or 3 of the people that were joining, it was a little better to just shorten it by half an hour and give people a little bit more time on track for qualifying and practice.
Woohoo!
Maxi is 0.044, like the numbers, away from Shane in the McLaren GT3. Straight to the start-finish line, and Diaco Bub... Oh, Tonix just took Diaco Bub's positions, and now he's been...
Oh no, shit!
Diaco Bub crosses the line, takes time off, only 0.6 of a second away from Giant Tonic in P9 as the rear-engine Porsche continues to hunt down the mid-engined.
And I'm on medium tires.
Mediums.
Perhaps I should change it to the soft one.
Well, you've got a few laps left, so get them on, get out there.
If you can
Fastest
afford
lap
them.
goes to Luka Zavicic in P1. Under half a tenth of a second as well, separating P1 to P2 there.
125, oh god.
Yeah, I know, yeah, he's a quick dude, isn't he? We've got Flash Dagger in chat, my good friend. How the devil are we doing?
Hi Flash.
Nice one, Dio. And Botto. So, Stav is in the Suprich, I believe, or is that the FT1? Surely it's the Suprich.
It's the bridge.
Yeah. Botto just takes P1 back from Zavicic, nearly a tenth as well. Wow, 125.589 here at Deep Forest. One of my favourite Gran Turismo 1 and 2 tracks. As the child, Christian's in P3, the beautiful Ford GT with its
very nice car.
It's like neons. Yeah, it looks like it's got neons in the engine bay, doesn't it?
Yes, but it's not the engine bay. That's part of the aerodynamics. I always love this about this, is that it has... They've got like a Coke bottle, like on an F1 car. You know, the back of it actually sort of comes very steeply back in towards the rear of the car, and then there's 2 winglets effectively to give it stiffness and aerodynamic, other aerodynamic majiggies. I really like that. It's built to win Le Mans. You know? built to win Le Mans. It's not built as a road car. It's built as a racing car. That's why it was so good.
Well, it's interesting that even just kind of talking about Le Mans, because I've seen the Le Mans film, and I am a massive motorsport nut. It's got to be said. And when you actually understand what Ford did at Le Mans, it's quite a feat. Because at the end of the day, although it was Ford, it wasn't. It was the engineers and mechanics that were responsible for making what they made. And what's even more interesting is we've got the brand new version that exists today, which we've currently got on stream, and also all other manufacturers have had so much time since that iconic day where they've had to build their cars up and get ever faster, get ever grippier, get a little bit a thousandth and thousands and thousands every time. It's
that evolution. It's amazing, isn't it? The evolution. It's like when they change the rules in any of them really, but especially Formula One. They change the rules, and then to slow them down, sometimes because of safety, like in the old ground effect days when the cars were going so fast they couldn't hold the neck. They were going around corners so fast they couldn't hold the head up properly because their necks were just too weak. Even with the big bull-sized necks they had. But then they always find ways of getting the time back, don't they? They always find ways of getting the cars faster and faster and faster. And they will with this current system that they've got now. They always find a way. Some clever people always find a way.
I think that Formula One are onto something, because it's one thing about making your car as fast as possible, but at the end of the day, you can always go faster. I think what's important is having closer races, and I don't necessarily have the answers, but I think F1 are moving into a direction where, and I don't know if it's working, but instead of just going for balls out of speed, still let the manufacturers do what they need to do, but I do like, close racing, some side-by-side action.
Well, I have a question for you, sir. Genuine question. Your opinion. Right. I was listening to someone that used to run. It's a guy called Peter Windsor, who's a YouTuber, and he does very good reports and stuff, videos on Formula One, because he's a real insider. He knows a lot about it. And he was talking about this thing about being able to follow easier and find and easy to overtake and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying the problem he has with it is that the very best racers could already follow. So Verstappen compared with Perez, or Hamilton compared with Bottas, they had found ways because of their ability to follow and get past. For example, in Brazil last year, when Hamilton's carving past everybody after all the stuff that went on. So what's happening is that it's being made easier, so the truly exceptional drivers are now they've got no advantage. And the same thing, in my opinion, happened with Valentino Rossi when they brought traction control in. One of the things he did incredibly well was the ability to put the power down and control the bike without a computer doing it for him. He had an incredible feel for what the back wheel was doing and the grip of the bike, and he could also really look after the tyres. And then when that went, he lost a lot of time relative to other people. And so what's your opinion on that? The pinnacle of whatever sort of motorised sport, it needs to be difficult to give the very best the chance to shine. What's your thoughts?
I think that's a very, very fair argument. That is something I am going to dive into in a few moments. So please remind me if I do forget, but I do want to answer that, so please do remind me. But I think we are actually ready to begin the race for Ukraine here at Deep Forest of Gran Turismo 7. Live co-coms with TMK and Titanium Tim Van Roo in chat. Also joined with the legendary German duo from bestlivery.com. Best place to get your livery design for GT7. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off Race for Ukraine.
Something else. I do like these liveries that Mr. Dykabub makes. They're very good. Don't tell him though. He's big-headed.
No, don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Oh damn, you're here. Me and my big mouth. One of the things I've noticed on this, I used to be able to go into a little menu and it would give me the times that people are doing in these things, and it's not there. It doesn't exist on GT7 that I can see. That's annoying.
Yeah, there's lots that they need to do. Right, now. Tubey stabbed me at the back.
He's losing yellow card.
I don't know whether we actually will end up on track. If we do need to exit route.
Oh, okay. So, especially it's my car.
We can spectate. We're not in. There we go. Yeah,
I didn't enter the race, so it's okay.
Is that the start? Oh, why are you on P2?
It's Saturday, the 26th of March. It's 18 minutes past 1 here in the UK, and we've got Jupy, who's asked to start at the back. He's at the front. And there we go, it is a go. Zavicic with an incredible start there, already taking 5 positions. Tubey in a position where he does not want to be. And we've got Dio in pursuit, Maxi on the outside. Maxi on the inside, nearly. Maxi is taking the outside line, he's got the position on Tubey.
I do like that Renault, that's very nice. So is Tubey Jinx... oh no, that's not Zavicic. Oh, okay, fine. I can see where he is now. Good.
Zavicic is P6, currently on the inside of McLaren. Joke in the Lexus, not able to get that position. GLR Racer in the Bentley with a little bit of a spin there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but the show must go on. And we've got Limunki now in P6, Zavicic in PTMK now chasing down Tubey, who wanted to start at the back, but is currently sitting in a podium position. Zavicic well and truly within the slipstream range. We'll see what he can make happen on the final corner here at Deep Forest.
Side by side.
Oh! He's making the move. Tubey's giving him the space. Difficult corner though, this one, Brew. I don't know if you've been on here yourself, but that last corner was brutal.
Yeah, I did. I think I did a couple of things while I was trying to get the cafe jobbies, but that was so close. It was fantastic though. Oh, Zavicic is right behind him now. One lap and he's come that far.
P8 behind Limunki, who is behind Golden Botto, which I now know means Golden Crash. And side Angelina in pursuit of the Subaru. Craig on the inside line. We've got McLaren and Shane.
Just the difference. No offence, Power Maxi, but you're trying very hard, and Zavicic is just like going dum 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 around all those all the twisties. It's like, I know Thorsten's fast. Compared with me, too much power! Oh no, that's gutted.
Still in a podium position though. Christian Vines just in pursuit of P3, and Dio with a P1 here now, being chased by the legendary Lucas Zavicic, who is also streaming. Again, of course, I do remind you all that we are all here today for the ones that are in Ukraine that are far worse off than we are. You get to complain about a bumper scratch or a missed apex, but those in Ukraine don't have that favour. So if anyone does want to donate, this is a good time for me to say the donations are in the links. They are in the links of the other streamers as well. We've got Dio streaming, we've got Zavicic streaming. I'm just going to stay on board with these two. What can Zavicic make happen as he makes his way past start-finish line and up to turn 1? There's another little bump there as we come up to turn 1. Right, we're going to come back on with those boys. Maxi still in podium, P3 position. Christian P4 in the beautiful 4GT. Golden Crash, P5. Dirk, number 2. Mujolina, who has been a big help setting up this race for Ukraine. He is also live streaming, so again, go say hello, give him a sub. It's all about connection here. And Mujolina, 6th position, is he on the inside line of Mauru in the 4-wheel drive Subaru. Christian with a little bit of slip angle there, maybe a bit too much. Still able to hold on to 4th position.
It's a good battle this between those 5 cars.
Indeed, McLaren is P8 and Shane P9. Pretty big train there from P9 to P3. Tonic on the inside, not quite able to get side by side before the corner.
What's happened to Juby Jinx, who started and got at the front and is now at the back?
I think he's just happy to be here. It's where he wanted to be, wasn't it?
Well, I can understand that. I don't mind being at the back.
We have got a battle though between, it's just Genesis, maybe that's not a Bentley, but we have got a bit of battle here between Dougie, as he makes his way up to the start-finish line, as does Craig and Dirk. So those guys have got a bit of a battle going on. They're going to be into the... It'll be interesting to see what they've chosen with regards to tyre choice as well. Because obviously we're using the softs, mediums and hards. They have to use those tyres at least once.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I go through everybody and tell you what tyres they've got? So Juby Jinx at the back is on the mediums. Mad Matthew is on the softs. Our very own Dyke is on softs. 2-3s is on mediums. Dougie, racer 14 of the GLR variety, he's on the softs. Giant Tonic is on the mediums. McLaren, though, he's taking a bit of a gamble and is on the hards. So we'll see if that pays out. Mr. R. Lee is also on the hards. Oh, there's a few. Okay. Another one that's on the hards is Mr. Vines, Chrissy, who's having a bit of a side-by-side fight going into that last corner. What's going to happen here? Let's stay on board. Oh, very fair. How they didn't hit each other.
On that corner as well. That was awesome.
Just amazing. Mujolina and the other Dirk is on softs. Then we've got Mr. Power Maxi, who's on the softs, as he very well knows, because he's doing it. As is Botto, as is Dio, and Zavicic is also on the softs, so there you go.
Yeah, but Mujolina's going for the inside line, as is Le Monkey. Maybe 3 wide into turn 1 here. Monkey P6. Mujolina P7, but Mujolina is a quick dude, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do as those 3 continue to battle it out.
It's a nice looking job, that.
An amazing fight between McLaren and Lexus, between McLaren, Joke, and Shane in the McLaren. That was confusing my brain for a second.
McLaren in a Lexus. And a Tonic in a McLaren, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's interesting. I think he's advertising some kind of chocolate sweet on the back of his McLaren. I believe it's a nutty treat that's now a little bit gone off in the fridge, I think, with a soft caramel crunchy centre full of nuts, if you get the meaning. PTN is peanuts in it. Anyway, where were we?
No, I'm with you. I'm just gobsmacked with how beautiful this Genesis is, driven by Dougie, who is also now right behind Shane in the McLaren. So he's had an off, but he's also catching back up to P9. So we've got an awesome fight there. Craig clearly had an off because he was putting some amazing times down last night when we were on. And you can just hit Dirk there at the end of that camera shot to chase him down. Now again, with everyone using different tyres and the length of the race, I'm expecting to see lots of action between different drivers at totally different times. Pitting, fuel, tyre choice, you know, the odd offs, which always happen, which is part of racing. Zavicic is P1.
That looks like, you know, you're saying about the Genesis car. Sorry, the Gemini. Is it Genesis or Gemini? The one that Genesis, I've just caused a crash. It looks a lot to me like. Oh, great brain. Okay, give me a second. 3, 2, 1. Ford Mustang. If you look at it from the front, it looks very like a Mustang. But as you say, it's got what looks very much like a Bentley badge on the front.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful car. Beautiful
it
car.
Is. It's gorgeous.
We've got an ace fight though for P2. Goldenbottom working his way up and now fighting his very good friend just Dio in the Peugeot. Dirk's now find himself in P4. Mujolina and Christian in the slipstream as they make their way past that start-finish line here at Deep Forest on Gran Turismo 7. Hard on the brakes. Christian is looking for the inside line. Is he going to keep it on the inside line? Not quite.
Doug's the first to blink. Doug's the first to blink. He's in the pits. He's been having a bit of trouble with the rear end. He sort of had a bit of a crash and then a few more fishtaily tails. That's very nice.
P6 right on the tail end of Christian in P5. McLaren and Giant still fighting it out. We've got some amazing action on track today.
Marvellous. GLR racer Doug, our Dougie, has put hard tyres on. But, oh, there is not refueled. Oh no.
Side by side with Craig. I'm going to have to start calling Craig 236. Was on last night, I believe, and Craig joined in as we was testing. And my son was like, Six? His name's Six. I was like, do you know what, son? You're right. I'm going to start calling him Six.
So his actual name is Six?
No, but 2 3s.
Oh, God, yeah,
PSM.
okay. Yeah, you did, you know the intelligent things that you say?
Yeah.
Dumb them down a bit for me, because, well, I fool people into thinking I've got a brain. It's actually a small jellyfish I found on the beach. I crammed into my ear hole. I'll swap it out every now and again for a fresh one.
Chased by Matthew Rue in the Peugeot in P10. Christian in the pits.
In that Peugeot.
Front-wheel drive.
Peugeot.
The rear-wheel drive.
Is that front-wheel drive? I thought that was a mid-engine thing.
I think it's mid-engine, or is it front-engine front-wheel drive? I'm not sure. No, I think it's front-wheel drive. Then we'll let me know in chat. But hello, Damo. Great to see you in chat.
Oh,
thank you for the like, my friend. TM Relnips from the EDTM. Hello. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in as we continue to watch the race for Ukraine unfold. We're here today again for a very important cause. We have those that are far worse off than us at this very given moment. And, everyone that is streaming this event today has a link in the description as to why. So if you do want to donate anything at all, which of course will go to people that need it. Now,
I'd just like to say hello to Darren, who's telling me off, and I'll say hello to him. No, Darren, I'm not still going from last night. I did eventually finish and did the job, and then eventually went to bed about 1:30, and then absolutely didn't get to sleep. So, yeah, I'm a bit tired. Carry on.
Vines, I think, has gone from P4 to P11. McLaren is also in the pits in his Lexus. He's down now refueling. It's a pretty awesome livery design as well. I do want to give everyone a little bit of time with the liveries.
Doug, bless him, went in, put on hard tyres, and then but didn't refuel, and he's gone back in, he's put on medium tyres, but he's now only got half a tank, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm very confused by these things.
Yes, well, they've got 63 laps to complete, which is around about a 90-minute race. We didn't do an endurance style and put it on 90 minutes because when the counter reaches 0, it just completely until the end of the race. You can't, drive into the final lap, if you will. But so we worked it all out. We've gone for 63 laps. Dougie being chased now by Zabisic.
Yep, he's been lapped, just about to be lapped. Oh! Be kind to Zabisic. He's been very kind. He's been very kind to him, but he needs to understand. Dougie brakes better than me, but still like me, i.e. earlier than everybody else. Because I need to. Well, it doesn't need to.
On the inside line. He's on the inside of Dougie in the Genesis. And
Dougie's lost it.
I don't know if there was any contact there or not.
Not deliberate. It was just good
action.
But it was a blue flag situation, surely. There was, unless you're talking about 1960s and 50s where they didn't have blue flags. You just had to negotiate as best you can.
Interesting.
Back in those days.
So you previously asked me a question. Remind me.
It was as you go. I'll kind of rephrase it a little bit as well. But as you go up the higher formulae, they have to get harder to drive. So Formula 1 cars are actually really hard to drive at all and get the best out of. And the idea being that the higher up you go, the more people, you know, it's smaller differences between the good and the exceptional. And these smaller differences need a more difficult car to show them, you know, to show them off. So in Formula 1, they're talking about how impossible it was to follow and overtake, and yet the likes of Max, Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton could do it. So, for example, in Brazil last year, they were charging past people because they knew how to follow closer than everybody else and get past. You know, and it showed their skill. Now that it's easier to do that, other people that aren't as good will be able to match them because they won't need that skill.
Yes.
Where do you think that lies in the sort of the thing that it's Formula 1? It's meant to be hard. What do you think?
No, I think it's a very, very fair point. It's you don't want it to be all the cars are constantly next to each other because that would, I guess, completely and utterly eradicate the actual driver's skill. But
yeah, become Indy cars or NASCAR.
Yes, fair
Ooh,
point.
Look,
Mugelina and Diaco Bub exiting the pits. Let's see what tyres these boys have on. So Christian's on racing mediums.
Diaco's on hards.
Mediums for Mugelina.
And they've got full tanks.
Otto's in the pits.
Oh, no. Diaco's only got half tank. Did he come in a while ago? Droop jinx!
I don't want to stay so long with the hard tires.
That's fair enough. Oh, we could do like they do in British touring cars. You know, like where they as someone's going around trying to concentrate on winning, and then they talk, so how's it going for you? And they go, and crash. Stop talking to me! Dirk, what you need to do is practice. Pick Hamilton or maybe Kimi and do a relatively clean version of their response to being bugged by their engineer. Leave me alone! Yeah, man! Just leave me alone, man! Okay, man? I'll let you decide which one's which.
I was curious as to how long drivers would actually stay out on the track with the racing cars. So they only need to use the compounds once each, but how long a pit stop is versus how much sauce would save you is an interesting thought, but then that's part of racing as well.
So are we using all three compounds? Is that what the rule is?
The requirement is to use racing softs, mediums and hards.
Okay, alright, okay, all three, cool.
So if they've used them once, they can go back for another set of softs or three, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how it happens. We've got Zavasic and Just Dio in the pits.
He's now on his softs. Oh no, I don't know what he's on. It's not telling me what they're put on. Why does the stupid computer not tell me what they're put on?
The monkey in P1.
Ryan Racer. Let's have a look at Ryan Racer. Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. And so it's because I've changed the display on there for their PSN ID. Just wanted to mix it up a bit.
Is that right? Only 12 drivers left?
Dougie and Craig have left, yeah.
Because apparently no one says yeah, boy.
So 14 drivers, 2 left, 12 left.
So everybody, if you're wondering what's going on my stream, I am the co-commentator to the wonderful Matt. We also have 2 drivers who are we can annoy and make them crash by talking to them. They're both chairmen. And in my chat, I've got links to Diaco and Matt, so you can click on there and watch better coverage, frankly. What else can I say? Give lots of money to go to Matt's, click on the links, give millions of pounds to UNICEF and the other charities that he's got there if he's got others, and say something nice in their chat. Something like, "How do you do there?" And Darren, yeah. I was not ignoring you. Now I've clicked on that chat and seen you type that in, Darren. Well, lots of people. You've got so many people watching. They're doing that thing where it's all moving too fast to read.
Your YouTube is Titanium Tin Man or something like that.
Ruse Racing Rambles.
There we go.
I did put it in the thing. So Dougie's gone because I think he got fed up with what I was, the difficulty. Not difficult, I don't know, to make it sound like, oh, it's too difficult, I'm not doing it. I don't think Dougie's like that. I think, I'll read what he says. Too much aggro driving. So that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I know exactly how he
driving, yeah?
Yes. Aggro. Aggro's a great... This is why English is so popular with the world, because it has words like aggro. It's not because it's a useful language. It just has lots of words for many different things. Big vocabulary.
We have the same word in German.
Ah, you nicked it from us, though.
Yes, of course.
Like steak. You took steak and you made it your own.
An English word, no Latin.
I mean, you have schnitzel, a cut of meat, and then they go, no, we want der steak, which means specifically beef. So, it is cow. But that's fine, because we also have lots of words that are in German. So, for example, Angst, which you know is the word for fear, auf Deutsch, is an English word also, meaning a feeling of sort of uneasiness and fear. It's a specific kind of fear. So, it's great. It works. I like languages. They're fun.
Well, we've got P7 chasing down... Sorry, P8 chasing down P7. We've got McLaren in the Lexus chasing down Mr. Lee in the Subaru. Matthew's also just gone into the pits. Stay on board and watch his livery for a few moments. Down he goes, in for fuel. 122 miles he's done in that Peugeot as well. No more race for Ukraine. That is why we're here.
Yes.
So that means that Jakobub's chasing down Giant Tonic. And Tonic on the hards. Jakobub also on the hards now.
Yes.
And Dio finds himself in P5 currently on the racing mediums. Mugilina is the second.
Mad Matthews just come out of the pits. That car is definitely mid-engined. Definitely. It's got scoops to feed the radiators on side parts at the rear.
Yeah, I see. Nice spot.
Yeah, every now and again, I see things. Even without my glasses. It's good, that.
Racing mediums for Christian. P3. And Zavicic is currently P2.
I know. Unusual position for him.
Yeah, well, this is the interesting thing about the whole tyre choice, because pace versus, especially pace over 63 laps, it's an interesting one. To see exactly the tyre choices.
Made
how
a
that fares.
But
But that's staying about 6.8, 6.9 between himself and P1 on Botto, who's also on racing mediums. He's in the four-wheel drive Subaru.
Everybody needs somebody love. Somebody love. A sweetheart kiss. Sugar to miss. What's the sort of length of time you can sing a song before they do a strike? Isn't there like you can do like a tiny bit of a song?
As long as the frequencies aren't the same, you'll be okay.
Damn. I'm probably in the same key.
It'd be good if we could play some of our own music as well. It's a shame about the whole copyright right laws, really. But let's have a little bit of Rush right now. Get some Rush playing.
Red Barchetta. I mean, one day, if I ever take streaming seriously, that will be my intro song. Because it's about a car. I mean, come on.
It's fluctuating between Golden Botto and Zavicic in P1 and P2. It's fluctuating between 6.8 and 7 seconds. So 0.2 of a second is being lost and gained per lap, which is quite interesting. But again, I think going off your previous comment, Rue, with regards to driver ability, you know, I'm really curious to see how these two fare, because they are both very quick drivers, and 1/10 of a second isn't a lot of time. But obviously, if you're doing that over a long time, then it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fares. 6.606 for Golden Botto. Zavicic seems to be finding his groove now, actually. His mediums just begin to bed in.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because I don't know what the Scooby-Doo's like in Gran Turismo 7 mode, but I found it very peaky with the turbo. So it was a bit of a challenge to control it out of tight bends and stuff like this. You know, just on a couple of times I drove it around one of Diaco's races, I think, is one of the DTM ones. There was a practice and I just went on there with the Subaru. But Zavicic is in a Toyota, and if I understand correctly, that Toyota and Polyphony have an agreement, don't they? Which is why, in the very annoying "Let's all talk about cars," they were saying how brilliant that Toyota Aqua is, when it's awful. It's the worst car I've ever driven, and you know, I mean, in real life or otherwise, it was just pants. But he's in a Supra, and the Supra is meant to be a bit quicker or something, kind of like cheat mode.
Yeah, and
is that true? I don't know if that's true. You tell me.
Well, there may be truth to it, yeah, but I think driver ability at the end of the day. I mean, you know, it's. I think driver ability. Say you're in an OP car, overperformed, and say maybe a car that's not very good around a track. Depending on what drivers are in those cars, you're still going to see a different result, in my opinion, as opposed to thinking the fastest car is going to win. Because it might only be fastest when you get all the parameters right, and even then you're probably only gaining, you know, maybe a 1,000th or two.
Okay. Yeah.
I think consistency is ultimately the key here, and again, this is why I'm interested for this one. We're obviously doing a longer stream for those in need in Ukraine. We've got some amazing people on board. We've got some fast dudes, and we've also got an amazing battle for P1 between Golden Botto and Zavi. So over the course of 63 laps, over the choice of tyres, you know, consistency, in my opinion, is going to show.
Yeah. Well, it was one of my things with the Bathurst. I mean, the only race I've taken part in, proper race, online race I've taken part in, and actually enjoyed, was that first race of the Bathurst Road to 161. And I put a lot of practice into it. I did, that week alone, I did well over 200 laps, just to try and get consistent. In fact, I knew I was never going to be fast enough to sort of be anything other than last, because I'd seen all the others race and I'd seen their times. But I wanted to improve, but also become consistent with the faster times on the different tyres, different fuel levels and that kind of thing. I kind of did. I pretty much knew when I was on a particular tyre what times I would be doing, and I made a lot less mistakes. And I enjoyed the flow you got going over the mountain. You know, once you sort of managed to get the flow and the precision. But like you say, it was the consistency that allowed you to. You can do one fast time accidentally, and then the next lap you do 4 corners brilliantly, and you crash on the 5th one. That's no good. That doesn't really help, does it? But yeah, consistency shows that you've nailed it. Yeah.
Yes, we've got someone in chat saying amazing liveries, and we are currently on the TV camera shots of Diaco Bub, designer of liveries, and bestlivery.com, and also exiting the pits now. But again, I'm very impressed with everyone that's put the efforts in today for making a livery for today's event.
Indeed.
Hey, Demo.
Do you have a favourite so far?
Did he what?
So go on, Dirk. Go on, Dirk.
I just want to say hello to Damo, that was all, sorry.
It's okay, mate, it's no worries.
Hello, Damo! I noticed Damo was at the top of some of the times on those, on the my roads to getting multiplayer. So that, should we call it that? My journey to multiplayer status. I noticed that some of the things, Damo was right up there.
Yes, Damo is he's a quick dude.
He is quick.
Hats off to him. He's definitely put the time in as well, because he's put some quick times down when I've raced with him. But I've also seen him on the top 10 leaderboards, and I've got a lot of sim races on my PlayStation. So to see him on the top 10 when I know that there's so many competing on Gran Turismo 7 is a testament to his ability.
And like you say, the time he's put into it, because he's definitely improved in the year. Because it's a year since I got Gran Turismo Sport and the PlayStation. You know, so yeah. Yeah,
we've got Golden Botto in the pits, going for a different set of tyres as well. He was on the mediums, I think. So
he's on the mediums. He also had no fuel left.
So, yeah, and he's gone from P1 to P3 now. As Everson's taking that position.
4,
Mr.
5,
Lee in P3, Dirk in P4. He's losing many positions.
It's filling up though. It's filling up. You know what it is? It's because they're not using a pressurised hose like Formula 1. They've just got a big can. And there's no way that's 100 litres, mate. They won't be able to lift it.
It's very true, yeah.
No.
Good old physics. So he's come out in 7th, but he's a minute ahead of Giant Tonic.
That's going to be an interesting one to see. What's the deficit? 1.8 seconds is his, and 1.888 or so there as he chases down P6. Mr. McLaren.
2.1. 2.3. He's getting it. Oh, he's on the racing hards now.
Well, we're nearly halfway through the race.
No, we're not.
It's funny, time just seems to fly when you're in the moment.
We are absolutely nowhere near halfway through the race. We are on lap 21 of 63, so we are a third of the way exactly.
That's fair, that's fair.
Do you know what you sound... That's like a politician's move, isn't it? This is like when they were... Because, you know, it's 20%. Well, that's nearly a third. No, it isn't. Yeah, it's close, very close. Round it up.
Push them numbers up. 2.7.
That's like when you get like one illness a year and you've halved it to half a illness a year. You can say, I've halved the illness of this year. But in 20 million people, only one person ever got ill.
Interesting. Golden Botto has gone on his hard, so he's on his final set of tyres and he'll be back on soft. So it'll be interesting to see how many laps he does. He is on fresh hards. He's chasing down McLaren. It's gone from 1.8 to a 2.7, a 4.444 there, as well as McLaren chases down just Dio in P5. And who else have we got up there? Dirk Mujolina in P4.
I've just got this song from the end of the 80s in my head. It might even be the beginning of the 90s. She was a black singer. She had one hit, and it was peace something, peace in the valley, peace in the something, peace in the summer. I remember on Top of the Pops. I'm just looking at the back of Zavicic's car, and it's got Stop War and peace on it, and it just, why that came to mind, well, probably because of the word association, but still, I was just like, not weird. That was a very long time ago. We're talking over 30 years ago now, so my memory's very strange. I can't remember what your name is, Thingy, and yeah, I can remember that. I can't remember. It's Matt. I know that. Just
2.6 separating Coden P3 to Dirk in P4. And Mr. Lee Monkey, aka Lee, the other way around, in the Subaru, crossing the start finish line, hurtling his way up to turn 1 hard on the brakes to clip the apex, thereabouts. And he's 3 seconds ahead of Mujolina and just under 4 seconds of P2, currently occupied by the legendary Vines racing the beautiful Ford GT, and Zavicic finding his way in P1 again.
So I want to point out that he's got just under half a tank of fuel, so he's got plenty of time Not much wear on those tyres, and he's now 28 seconds ahead of Chrissy. Chrissy! Chrissy!
He's also on very, very, very low fuel. Mediums are warming a little bit.
He's got to get to the end of the lap. Not much wear on those tyres though. I mean, there's some, but not. He's I want to say outside because it's that rotation of track, but let's say right rear. Oh! Yeah, you can tell his right rear's going a bit. Because he's just kind of like, whoa, back end, slow down. Yeah, I've done that one. Because he had a not tank slapper. I actually found a video. I was sent a video of it was a kind of a mixture of bike road races. So a little bit of Isle of Man, a little bit of the Northwest 100s and Ulster 100s and this kind of stuff. Nutters doing over 200 mile an hour on public roads, you know, that kind of thing. And one guy came over a rise and hit down and had a tank slapper, and it was great. I sent it to Hugh with the timestamp saying, "This is a tank slapper. Look at the bars hitting the tank." There you go. It's great. I love it when I can illustrate my point with real footage. Vines in the pits.
Yes, losing positions, but again,
has to be done.
Is he losing positions? That's the real question.
When we've got nuclear fusion powered cars, then we don't have to do pit stops. But until that time, we need fuel. Carry on.
Got the two Dirks.
Ooh.
Just making their way under the bridge, coming up to the very awkward final hairpin here in Deep Forest. One of my favourite tracks as a child. I did want to perhaps...
Oh!
Yeah, it's a horrible corner. It's that where it dips in the road. It really does catch you out.
Weight transfer though. Because this is something I was learning, and shut me up because this is not important, but you know, the part of the GT7 experience, you know I like tuning, and the way the tuning's happening, you know.
Dirk side by side into turn one.
No, that's overlapping.
With you.
He wasn't trying to be nasty. All he was doing was trying to not crash. Because, you know, he's in that Kiefer with this big pendulum out the back. I want to kill you. Why? Because I can. You know.
I guess it wasn't the best choice, this car.
Well, Damo keeps telling me.
My World Series car.
Really? Wow,
yeah.
What are they?
I've got massive respect for Porsche recently. Huge respect for them.
They make some very nice cars.
Race breed.
When I'm rich, I don't want to be famous, but when I'm rich, I will be buying a well, brand new right now Porsche Boxster S GTS 4 litre manual, 6-speed manual with a 4 litre flat six, naturally aspirated. It's like the last proper analog car, I think. But okay, it's expensive, but it's not like super car, but it's fast enough. 2-seater. Nice open top for nice weather, built by Porsche so it won't break. What a great car, it's fantastic. It's just they still persist. The things they've done with this pendulum is amazing. However, it's still a pendulum. It just is.
Indeed, there's two things that I want to say right now.
Yes,
the first one is Zabasic is making his way. We've got blue flags being waved. As Zabasic is making his way through the field, showing his goat-like qualities. He's also took a real Porsche round.
Oh!
Maxi round that horrible final corner.
Ah, that's because he's in the Honda.
But the Subaru is an all-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. I did get that wrong.
I believe it's rear-wheel drive in this version. Because it's GT3.
Rear wheel.
Yeah, because it's a GT3 car, it's rear-wheel drive. I think. Sorry to sound like I'm sort of going, that's not what I... yes. I think the GT3 or the Group 3
four-wheel drive earlier.
What's the difference? See, this is people say all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and it's like if it's got four wheels, it's the same.
I do think there's a difference. I don't know whether four-wheel drive means all the wheels move independently, and all-wheel drive means the front and back move independently with the diffs, or vice versa. Is what I've just said. Maybe chat can let me know. But we do have a Dutchie McDutchinson in PTMK there. It's beautiful. Race for Ukraine, delivering Lexus, and he's been hunted down by Golden Crash in the all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive Subaru Group 3. 3 tenths of a second.
See, to me, they're just the same. Because the first sort of four-wheel drive car was the Willys Jeep, I believe, or the very early one, and then the Willys Jeep was taken apart and modified on Anglesey to make the Land Rover, just called the Land Rover, Series 1, on a beach on the west coast of Anglesey. The first on-road, and then of course you had the tractors. It was called the Formula Ferguson. If you see FF cars, that means Formula Ferguson, because Ferguson might have even invented the four-wheel drive. I don't know. But the first on-road four-wheel drive system was actually in the mid-1966, I think it was, something like that. Yeah. The Jensen Interceptor FF, which was also the first car to feature ABS, which it was Dunlop system that was used on airplanes, adapted for cars. Then the next one of any note was of course the Audi Quattro. But the thing about the Interceptor is it had a limited slip diff in the centre, whereas the very first Audi Quattro didn't, so you could still get one wheel spin until they realised their mistake and they actually put limited slip diffs in it and made the Quattro the true Quattro system that we know. So they're all, and then you get your Range Rover. The Range Rover had a limited slip diff as the centre diff, so it was a more advanced four-wheel drive system than the Land Rover, the actual normal Land Rover, Series 1, 2, 3, whatever, because they were lockable diffs. You could lock them if you were off-road, but when you were on-road, it gave you a bit more security, but not much. You couldn't. It would wreck the transmission if you had it. You need slippy conditions, or it would wreck the transmission. But then you get. I mean, all-wheel drive makes sense to me if you got something like these massive six-wheel or eight-wheel trucks, you know, that for very slippery conditions, like the big Volvos they use in quarries, or military trucks, you know, with 8 wheels, that kind of thing. It makes sense to call them all-wheel drives as a sort of a shorthand. I don't know.
Well, guys, Subaru Group 3 are FR or rear-wheel drive cars. There are no Group 3 cars with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. 103 and different commentator.
Possum equals Porsche. Funniest cowboy. Oh dear. Possu is so. Mr. Funniest Cowboy, is Possu like Finnish for Porsche or for car that spins every time you try and put the power down on the bed?
It's a good question. It's a very good question.
Sorry, it's in my chat. He's put Possu, P-O-S-S-U.
But do you use in P3 in the Peugeot? We've got Le Monkey, Mr. Leon P2 Zabasic making his way through the field.
I'm reading your chat. Carry on. You just carry on reading your chat. I haven't got a mute button, otherwise I'm muting. I'm reading.
Surreality, favourite Porsche 944 Turbo post was a child, yeah. That's an interesting thing about Porsche as well. I was never, ever into Porsches growing up for the sole reason I didn't like the way they looked. But now I've grown up and racing's come on, like we mentioned earlier, I've got a real passion for Porsche because they are serious, race-bred machines. I know the necessarily amount of, I mean, the top end isn't supposed to be as good as it in the Porsche, but the handling is supposed to be the best if and when you can get the most out of it.
When you say the top end, do you mean road cars or racing cars? What are you talking about?
All of them. Absolutely all of them. I think the lap record for the Nürburgring is the Porsche, I believe it's the 919 something, Evo, I can't quite remember, but it did the Nürburgring in like 5 minutes 14, 5 minutes 40.
I don't actually know. They tend to chase. They tend to chase Nürburgring, Nordschleife times Porsche. The thing is that the Porsche. I mean, back in the day, the Porsche I loved was the 959 because it was just incredible. It was that four-wheel drive system was so incredibly advanced, and of course they made it to be a Group B rally car, and then they used it for rallying. And it had this multi-clutch centre diff, and it was just an incredible car, and so fast. It was also, I don't know like the first or anything like that, but the way they had the turbos on the car, most turbos, when you've got something like a flat 6 or a V6, they'll have 2 turbochargers of the same size, one for each side, you know, so it's all balanced out and equal. This doesn't have that. That's in parallel turbos, but the 959 had it in series, which is popular now with like these twin turbo diesel BMWs and petrol BMWs, like the 3-litre straight 6 engine they use in the M3 and stuff. They are now the same as the Porsche 959, which is in series. They had a small turbo for the lower RPM and then a big turbo cut in, and it reduced the lag, and that thing could do 195 mile an hour, so with only 450 horsepower in the 80s. So it wasn't a
Sorry,
200.
This is interesting. Hold your thought, but we had just exit the pits in P3, but he's now behind his very good friend Matthew, who is a big fan of Orange is the New Black. He's in P11 though with a couple of incidents, I believe. But we've got these two fighting it out in identical cars now in the Peugeot. .6 separating P1 to P2. We are now halfway through that time. They're never going to get back. One more run, and that is it.
It is. I'd like to confirm it is halfway.
Thank you.
Just in case anybody wondered, he's right. He's
Christian's
right.
still in PTMK there. As he makes his way under the tunnels. In pursuit is Mr. Lee. Subaru chasing down the Ford GT here at Deep Forest for the Race for Ukraine. And again, link is in the description for those that do want to support, even £1, you know, anything. It's baby wipes, blankets, absolutely anything. At the end of the day, there are families, children, mothers, kids that are escaping their homes. They have absolutely zero shelter. I've never personally experienced it, but I can't imagine that even being in close proximity to a bomb, let alone gunfire, tanks, aeroplanes, helicopters, is a nice feeling where you live.
Well, of course, I mean, this is the thing. People are used to watching Hollywood films, and of course they're about, and they think it's fact. They think that if a building blows up, people are okay. And it kills like one person. It's like, no. I was looking at footage of someone I follow on Instagram who's in the Ukraine, and they had to flee their home, so they stopped posting. And the next post they had was a video of a missile hitting a building opposite them. And of course, one of the things that happens is that it blows up, and you get the bang, and it shakes things, and then you get a shockwave, and the shockwave broke all the windows in their apartment. But you never see that in Hollywood. So, you know, the collateral damage for something like that, and imagine you're standing there filming it and all of a sudden you've got glass shredding your skin. It's not good. So you don't need to even be that close to be injured, and of course you're going to be absolutely terrified because it's loud, man. It's loud and it's scary. No, it's not good.
It's incredibly loud and incredibly scary, yeah. And I think, you know, Mujalina, in all honesty, came to me first and presented the idea, and as soon as he said let's do a race for Ukraine, I just thought, well, that is an amazing idea. I'm absolutely going to be donating myself, because, you know, it will only be a small amount because that's all I can afford, but at do know that it will go towards something extremely valuable to those in need, and it's such a horrendous thing.
And it's a very difficult situation. As Serenity just said, it's a terrible situation. The thing that I was listening to a lot of people talking this stuff, and one of the biggest problems, you get the politicians in Britain trying to sound like they're, you know, virtue signaling and all that. Oh, yeah, what? Okay. Oh, Moomin, yeah, bye-bye Moomin, yeah. Bye-bye Moomin. Virtue signalling, saying, oh, we need to do a no-fly zone, we need to do this, we need to do that, and then you get some people with a slightly more level head saying the problem with that is that Putin is mad as a box of frogs and really doesn't really care. And if you do that, he's got this button with his nukes.
That's
you push him into
told,
it.
yeah.
Well, he has, because when they did all the political thing, because we all thought we were safe. You know, I was in Germany when the war came down, and it was amazing. It was just fantastic. That's the year I was there, 89, 90, and it was, honestly, I grew up with all of the fear of nuclear war, and it was terrible. It was terrifying as a kid in the 80s. And you know, you're old enough to sort of be cognizant of the danger, and young enough to not be able to do anything about it. So it was a fantastic time, and everybody thought, well, we're all mates now, we're all friends. And it was great. But then, so all the disarmament, world disarmament, which was a wonderful thing, because we don't really need all of these stupid things. But of course, Ukraine got rid of all their nuclear weapons, and Russia just kind of didn't. Sort of people got in charge there that really weren't that.
Stick.
Yeah, they got the biggest stick, and they weren't going to lose it. And who was going to? It's like watching Team America World Police talking about Kim Jong-il when they won't let Hans Blix look around his weapons of mass destruction. You know, it's just to say what they're going to do.
I think at the end of the day, you know, I think the issue I have with it all is those that are being captured from the Russian army are saying that they were sent out for training exercises and that kind of thing. But then it turned into a war, and if you actually look at the, and I put this in quote marks, legalities of joining the army, when wartime is in effect, it is, well, do I say you could be severely punished for not taking orders? And my
absolutely,
point is,
yeah, no, you've got,
they're
it's
being
treason.
forced. They're
It's
being
considered
forced. They're being forced to blow up homes. I mean, we all know what's going on. I don't need to say it, but I just think it's the fact that they've been forced, and that's what gets me.
Yeah, you've got human beings that normally would not do that kind of thing, but and also you've got to remember, you know, again, a lot of Western politicians are sort of saying, oh, we need to show the Russian people, or they'll do the other thing where they blame the Russian people. Oh, the Russian people are for this war and they're terrible people. It's not like that at all.
No, it isn't the Russian.
They're being told something. 60% of the, you know, they're being told something on the only medium they really have easy access to. The propaganda of it all, and we all know what propaganda's like. It's always been bad, but these days it's like everything's propaganda. Every TV show, everything is some kind of message they're trying to show something, and these poor sods are being shown that as well. So a lot of them are believing what they're being told, which is very sad, but it's no different to what goes on in Britain now, or America, where you don't get critical thinking, you don't think for yourself. So you end up having terrible things happening to everybody. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody.
People that didn't sign up for it. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't agree that war should exist, but the other side to it is both parties have agreed to, you know, pick up a gun and shoot, which is the problem. But I do just want to quickly interrupt though as well. As important as it is, we've got Diak above in the pit. Dirk, did you want to say a word or two with anything, Slippery? How we feeling?
What? Sorry, I'm a little bit concentrated right now. I'm in a good flow.
Sorry about that. You just crash. It's fine.
When I don't talk, I drive much better.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh,
We've we've got DTR Diaco Bub now just ahead of DTR Power Maxi.
How could I get there? That's interesting. He was far in front of me.
Well, this is the interesting thing about pit stops. I think it's definitely sort of shook up the strategies and.
This is already my third pit stop.
It's skill, Diaco. That's what it is. Pure skill. You've just, I don't know. You sort of. You used the Schwartz.
Just Dio coming up to a couple of back markers. There's going to be a blue flag being waved from the marshals here at Deep Forest. There it is. Just Dio, is he going to take the inside line from Juby? No, he's going to take the racing line. Hasn't quite made it happen, but Juby has seen that he wants that position. As he is obviously deserved, and now side by side with Maxi. Maxi giving him that position, makes his way through the blue flag, and now is in pursuit of Mugellina. But again, we have got the fuel and tyres to consider. Racing softs, I know we just went back into the pits, I think after one lap with the hards on.
So you could pretend you're Formula 1 and decide you want a fake show, so you bring out the safety car to bring everyone together, so it's racing. Yeah. Don't do that though. Just saying, please don't. But you know, you could. Do I sound bitter? Do I? Just a little bit. Just wondered.
No.
Not good. No, I don't sound bitter.
Now, is that Golden Botto? No, it is not. So Golden Botto is 3.5 seconds away from Zabi as we close in towards the final stretch of the race. I think we can begin to see the suns going down now as well.
It's the final countdown.
25 seconds separating himself between fines. So the 5P1 is on between Zavicic and Golden Botto. Christian, it's P3, just in pursuit of Mad Matthew in the Peugeot, and Mr. Lee in the Subaru is on the fight for P3 here. Mad Matthew letting the fight for P3 make its way through.
Botto will be coming in this lap for a pit stop. He's on hards, but he's got no fuel left.
Interesting.
First pit stop?
Softs on as well.
You said first pit stop?
Golden Botto's coming in for a pit stop. But he will be, because he's got no fuel.
Not the first.
Oh, no, he's done about 4,612, just like everybody else. Because that Scooby-Doo drinks petrol. No, he doesn't drink any more petrol than anything else.
Christian in the beautiful 4GT is a mile away from the infamous 400 miles that he'll have completed in that 4GT. Kevin Lee in the slipstream to go for the inside line. He's taken up thing. He's already side by side. He's got priority over the corner. Christian's had to concede because he was side by side before the turn.
He's got no fuel either, so he's coming in too.
Into the pits for Christian. Kevin Lee stays out. This is going to be interesting once we come towards the final of this race. We've got different tactics at play here. Golden Botto also in the pits, so that was a good call from Rue there in the Subaru. 3.936. Separating himself, and then he goes down that leaderboard. Dutchy in P3. Currently holding a podium position. We'll see what they do. And Christian in the 4GT. Fueling up. He'll be back on with the softs, and it is going to be a push. Push-each. There's quite a few songs actually on Gran Turismo, and it sounds like they're saying push-each.
They probably are. I mean, on Gran Turismo 7, they keep saying, "You've got a driver coach," and he looks like he lives in his mum's basement and needs a haircut. So, you know, when you got some genuinely fast people like Zavicic and, you know, super famous, wonderful people like you coming out with these wonderful statements, why not nick them and use them? Maybe they'll give you royalties. Oh, that'd be good. Wouldn't that be good?
Do you know, I think it's a fair point that actually. We've got Giant Sonic and P8 here, but I think I mentioned F1, and I'm not bringing this up because of what happened, but the final race of F1, when I started watching it with Kobe, and that was one of the races that we paid for and we watched it. When that final part happened, my heart was through the roof. I don't consider myself a massive F1 fan, but my heart was through the roof. Because I was like, I cannot even believe this is happening, and the adrenaline was going through me. And it reminded me of the UFC in the sense that it's all for entertainment. And
Yep.
I do believe that F1, cash is king. I think most of the cars in there are Mercedes, the different teams. And I think Bugs mentioned a pretty good point that, the F1 driver, his dad actually does deal with Putin. Cash is king, right?
Well, he was the only reason, like we've said before, anyone that's in F1 is a fast driver, a very fast driver, right? That's to even drive one of those cars, I've got to be living. But he was awful as an F1 driver. His only way of ever getting past Schumacher, who's young Mickey Schumacher, as lovely as he is, with the name to go with it and all that kind of stuff, he's not very good. But at least he won.
Shut up.
F2. Oh, come on.
Zavicic is in the right sandwich at the minute.
I mean, he's like I say, he's a hell of a lot better than I'll ever be, but he's not very good. But, he's not full of himself. He's a really nice lad. Whereas Marzipan, Chiquitita Marzipan, when he's at Monza last year, and he just sticks himself at the, I can't remember the name of the chicane, it's the second chicane, after you go around there, and he just shoves himself there, and smacks, and expects Schumacher to just, drive off the road, or not race him, and then goes, he hit me! No, what happened is that you're an arrogant little twerp, and you shouldn't be in that car. Duh. The only reason he's in that car is because Haas really needed the money from his dad.
You're not wrong, mate.
Big
Very
chemical
true.
company.
That's true, absolutely true. But gives the Schumacher another car, I guess he would do a better job.
Perhaps. Yeah, perhaps.
Give him a while. He did the F4, F3, F2, all with championship wins in the first season.
Absolutely.
It can't be so bad how you are saying.
I don't dislike the guy, and he is, like I say, he's a fast driver to even be there. But we all know when Alonso was in God, what was it called? Became Toro Rosso. Was owned by an Australian. He was there with Mark Webber. What's gone wrong with me brain? Hello, brain. Anyway, he was in the back team. The back. The
Drinking helps.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And you know full well it doesn't help me. Anyway, oh, nearly had it. Anyway, it's an Italian team. It's now Toro Rosso, or whatever Alpha Tauri. It was in there.
Toro Rosso.
No, it was before Toro Rosso. Before Toro Rosso, Red Bull bought the team and it became Toro Rosso. But it was the slowest car.
Sauber.
No, because that's now Alpha. Slower than Sauber. Sauber's always put it this way: when BAR were rubbish but had tons of money, the cost of BAR's motorhome was the size of the budget of that team. It will come to me. Anyway, Alonso and Webber were both in it, and everyone knew. No, it's not Sauber. I just said that.
Super
That's
Aguri.
No, that was a Japanese team. It began with an M. Minardi, thank you very much. When Alonso was in a Minardi, that was his first team in F1, everyone could see the sheer ability the guy had. Even then. And it wasn't just that he beat Webber, who's no slouch. It was the way he did it, you can always tell. And unless young Mickey gets a sort of a big chunk of Schwartz, or gets his superpowers, he's never going to be world champion material. He's always going to be good, but a plodder. And it's ridiculous in my mind to call an F1 driver a plodder, because they're all so good compared with normal humans like me. You know?
Yep.
But bless him. I wish he was. It would have been such an amazing story. Can you imagine him being as good as his dad and becoming a multiple world champion? That'd just be amazing. But
we've got an amazing fight here for P5. Christian is in pursuit of a Dio, and a little bit of contact there. Nothing too major, but it's a very good fight here going off P5. And I've also changed the view when you are racing. You do get some more views, I've just realised. So we are currently inside the cockpit, chasing down just Dio here at Deep Forest.
Buggy Bug saying Minardi was a good starting point for many World Driver Champions. He was. Minardi was, and they had so little money, but did such a good job with that money. And like I say, BAR had less points for them. Minardi were ahead of them, and BAR had so much tobacco money, British American tobacco money. They had Jacques Villeneuve. They were boasting they'd be winning races by the end of the first season, and of course it took them a very long time to win anything. Oh wow, the weight transfer on that last corner once again, because it's rear-engined, mid-engine, sorry. The back end is a bit skittish, isn't it? So watching Christian go around that last corner, challenge, big challenge.
And Giant Tonic is keeping up with Zavicic here. Let's make the way up to the start-finish line for lap 44.
I've got the tools behind me.
We don't know what the fuel settings are on Zavicic's car. I think he's turned the engine right down. Oh! What's going on there? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I think Zavicic has turned his fuel right down, and he's taking it easy on his tyres to get the most out of the racing
Wait
hard.
for the last stretch, yeah, that's interesting.
The reason I'm saying that is because Ryan Racer's catching him up. And you don't get 22 or 25 seconds ahead of someone for them to then catch you up because you're slow. And we know it's not slow anyway. So his Tic Tacs is changed from orange Tic Tacs to mint Tic Tacs.
Oh, what incredible racing between Christian and Dio here. Diaco Bub in front of these two as they are fighting it out, making way for the final little left-hand dip. Dirk goes to the left-hand side in his beautiful Porsche 911.
I like that fella, he's very fair. Oh, Christian's up the inside, can he outbrake? Dio is taking the wide line. Side by side.
Look at this side by side, incredible.
So clean. God, we love the clean. Clean, clean, clean.
This
like
is what we're here to see.
Oh, what a slide! What a drift! Fantastic. How did he control that?
Come on,
super
lads.
duper. Get in there. And on the same tyres, Christian's got a lot more fuel though, so whatever happens, he's going to end up ahead because Dio's going to have to come in. We had, when I was giggling earlier, it's because I was reading your chat, and we had, let me just, I can't remember, do apologise for not remembering your handle. J Silver. He's saying, Mazzy, you listen, it's possible you put the safety car on track until my driver Dio overtakes everyone. We'll talk about compensation after the race. That's what was making me laugh, because we were talking about that last race, and he was, oh, just superb. Yeah.
What is quite interesting, in the EDTM I'm fighting with Christian head to head, and here I get lapped.
Yes, for those that are watching, we have an EDTM series. I've just seen Zavicic go into the pits as well. So he's going to go into his final set of tyres now, which is going to be an interesting one. But yeah, for those that are watching, like I say, get subscribing, get liking to everyone else that's streaming. But Diaco Bub We have a EDTM series. We will be racing on the 2nd of April, is that correct?
Yep.
What?
We're going to be racing on the 2nd of April.
Oh,
Next Saturday, Rue.
Okay.
I think I knew that. Did I knew that?
You know, you should know.
I think I said I knew. And then, obviously, stopped knowing for a little bit. And now I know again.
That's great.
So Mr. Lee is in P1. Zavicic fueling up. I'm assuming he's going to go into the softs. And out he goes. So he's just left the pits. Mr. Lee is 27 seconds up the road. Assuming he may have a pit stop left, or we'll see whether Zavicic has got softer tyres and he's now got a fight on for P1. Currently
has, and also
Biley Monkey.
Mr. Lee's got an 1/8 of a tank of fuel to Mr. Zavicic's full tank and racing softs. So,
yep, Juby out the pits. Just Dio and Christian coming back in for the fight. The 5P4 continues to go side by side. Christian's on the right side of Dio. Dio, I think, just closing the door yet again on Christian as the Peugeot and Ford GT continue to battle it out here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine. Juby letting the 5P4 go through, taking that wider line. It's absolutely legendary, dude. I'm really happy to see a Juby here with us. But we jump back on board with Christian. You've got the inside car view as well, Rue. I don't know if you know.
yes, I saw that. Actually, that's a good point. I'm going to remember which button I've got to press.
R1.
That's the one, yes. So you got the inside, but yeah, they've got that sort of, the one they've nicked off of ACC, where you were looking across. So I do like that.
They're going side by side again. Hard on the brakes, Christian. Is he going to get it stopped in time? Is Dio going to get the better run out? We could just see the Peugeot on the rear camera a little bit of a power slide at the exit, but it looks as though he's got that position of Dio. We're closing in on the final laps here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine, and we've got an incredible fight to be crowned in PTMK there, currently occupied by Christian 0.28 separating.
I predict that Dio's going to be in at the end of this lap based on his fuel. His tyres are also quite worn, whereas Christian's got half tank and better tyres, so Christian needs to make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, the right rear tyre on Dio's Peugeot is very worn, especially in consideration or comparison to the front left there in his racing softs.
As you think, it's a clockwise track though, so that's the one that's going to get most of the pressure, isn't it?
Do you know what I think? I think Dio's going to have to go in the pits anyway. He's going to get another fresh set of softs on, so that might be the deciding factor between himself and Christian, as they're now making their way under the tunnel here at Deep Forest.
We have 15 laps left, so this could be the last round of pit stops.
It's going to go quick.
Zavicic is back in the lead. Ryan Racer with no fuel has had to come into the pits, and he's dropping back, but has done a brilliant job. Has lead.
Go on, Dio. Push, push. Mr. Lee exiting the pits on some softs. Is he going to come into...
Oh, let's see. I want to see how far... Okay, so Chrissy's not going to end up on the podium, I don't think. Oh, no, hold on. No, it just reset itself from a minute behind to 12 seconds. Oh, computer.
And interestingly enough, we've got Golden Bottle and Lee both in Subarus here. Lee's just come out of the pits with fresh softs, just over 3/4 of a tank. Golden Bottle is on slightly worn softs and closing in towards half a litre of tank, so you could say they're perhaps similarly
so is this going to be a situation where
matched.
Golden Botto's had to turn his engine down to try and get to the end, and that's made him vulnerable to Lee. He's done a fantastic job here, you know, he could actually end up on the podium.
He's got a good slipstream. Is he going to make the move? He's doing it, he's side by side, he's got priority, but is he going to stop in time? fresh softs, so they're warm enough. No, he's running
back,
wide. Does that mean Mo's
back.
going to get the cutback? Oh, they're going to go side by side.
Oh, he just takes it. Just takes it.
He may have had a better run though, and he's got slipstream here, so we'll see what happens as he comes up to turn 1 here at Deep Forest.
Yeah, he's falling behind though. Falling behind.
Battle of the Subarus.
It's a laggy band effect. Makes it look like he's closer, but Lee pulled away. So I think he's on a higher power because he's got more fuel, so he can do it. Get himself out of slipstream, get himself out away from the pressure, and then cruise home. Because
now, Christian's got quarter of a tank left, and Dio's just gone into the pit, so he's going to have a fresh set of softs and fuel to finish the race. So that's going to be an interesting one to see him and Christian as we close towards the end of the race here. Fastest lap goes to Golden Botto as well in the Subaru.
Excellent. So you don't think that Christian's got enough fuel left to get to the end?
Oh! I'm not sure.
Back end of that GT is so twitchy under power. Really doesn't like putting the power down. Doesn't Christian use a pad though?
Yes.
Or is he a wheelie wheel? Right, that explains a lot. That explains an awful lot. Much harder to smoothly get the power down with the pad, and also not oversteer. Because I think it was you I heard say that you worked out that if you get less than 45-degree angle on your steering wheel, you don't lose the back end so easily.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it on a pad, that's much harder to sort of be that precise with it, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got to be a little bit more cautious with your throttle to make sure you don't spin the car, because you can't really do the minor adjustments that you get with a force feedback wheel.
He's in. Should he have left it another lap? He could have done another 2 laps, I reckon.
Interesting. Let's see where he comes out then as Dio makes his way through Deep Forest. Christian hard on the brakes. Tyres off, tyres on. Get them nuts on, and down it goes. Fuel goes in, and let's jump on board with Dio as he closes in.
McLaren's got 3/4 of a tank, so he can get to the end. Mugelina's not going to need to stop. So they're also fighting with McLaren JK, you know, for the positions. It's going to be a 3-way fight for 4th, 5th and 6th here. One is thinking.
Nismo and Ryan are also on pad. Nismo.
Oh, okay. And Ryan's 2nd at this point. And he's got fuel to the end.
I'm assuming Ryan is Lee Monkey. Lee.
Sorry, Lee. Yeah.
Ryan,
So I need to.
Assuming it's Ryan.
I'll change my doodah to display nicknames. There we go.
Now, Christian's at the pits, and he is 8 seconds, nearly 9 seconds ahead of just Dio, but we have 12 laps remaining before we bring this to a close. And I do want to take this time to thank everyone that's joined mine and Rue's chat for the live co-coms. We do have a link to Rue's live stream, so go give him a like, go say hello, go give him a wave. Lots of the drivers are streaming as well with the UNICEF donation link, as we of course are all here today for the same united cause, which is the Race for You. Link in the description.
I'd like to thank Funniest Cowboy for being a loyal listener watcher. He's enjoying the racing.
Legend.
Absolutely.
Dutchy P5 in the Lexus. 2.5 seconds separating himself between Dirk Mugelina in P4 from Germany. Also live streaming. Mad Matthew having an encounter with Barrier there. And McLaren's like, thank you boys, I'll take I'll take them positions. So Dutchy is in P5 making his way through. Mugelina P4, 31 seconds though, separating himself between P3. P3 is 8.6 seconds away from K Lee. Bottom on the racing softs, half a tank. Lee on the new softs and half a tank. And Zavicic just over half tank and on new softs. So they're all on similar tyres there. It's going to be an interesting one to see who is going to take, I mean, I guess P1, 2 and 3. You never know. with racing, anything can happen, so that can change. But Zavicic does have a 13.1 second lead over Ryan in P2 there.
Mugelina in the pits, so that this I think that we've got something like the end order, you know, coming in the next lap or so, because we've got 10 laps left, and you've got 12 seconds between McLaren JK and Vines, 9 seconds between Vines and Dio. So I think that's 1/6, pretty, unless something really bad happens. Like Dio realises he's got his hazard lights on and it bothers him.
Well, as long as you're present enough, you're kind of in the flow by now, aren't you? You know, as long as your mind doesn't go elsewhere, you can keep in that flow. That's why we love racing.
Tired. But he's pushing to catch up. He wants the position. You can tell he's pushing because he's taking a lot of speed into corners, understeering a bit. And this is where I'll be talking to Hugh when he used to do this kind of stuff, and saying, you know, just step back a little bit, breathe, slow down, stop pushing for speed and reaching for lap times, and just drive smoothly. And the times come to you. It's easy to do. You want to, you know, I want to go faster, and that's when you overdrive and you actually go slower. It's
well, kind of touched on your point earlier. You know, I've been on the simulator a lot more, and I've been on it with a different mindset, in the sense of really just trying to feel the car. And one of the things I've learned, and this is one of the things I see a lot of people do, and I did, when you come into the corners, you just turn the wheel, and what that does is you can't turn as much. What I've realised is it's all about like keeping, as obvious as it is, Tonic with a little spin there, Shane in the McLaren, but he's been a legend there keeping up with Zavicic. But as I was saying, you know, keeping the car stable is now is in the forefront of my mind, as opposed to turning the car.
Yep.
And it's that keeping it stable, so bringing the wheel back ever so slightly. And again, the force feedback is incredible in this game. I do have a lot of love for Gran Turismo 7. I am curious to jump back onto Gran Turismo Sport and see whether it was just my mindset, but I do find that, and I don't know whether it's because of the road cars either, because they are so much more unstable, that it's just made me realise that
they are,
keep the car stable, don't turn as much, and it works. But you know, when I've been on track and you're hitting 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, you can't. If I was to turn my car 45 degrees on the wheel, it would be game over. Yeah, absolutely.
This is remember when we talking about slip angle? That's what I was talking about. That's what the slip. It's the slip angle of the tyres, not like the side movement of the car. If you turn too much, you go past where the tyres can grip, and therefore you grip less, and it slides straight on. Whereas if you turn less, you've still got the grip of the tyre, and like you say, you just got to keep the car. It's matching the speed to the grip that's available, and not then ruining it by turning too much. And it's so hard to do.
Maximising grip rather than panicking and turning.
Yeah, it's not a switch. It's linear. It to a point.
Yeah, the car wants to go straight. It doesn't actually want to go around a corner, does it?
Exactly. You've got to. You've got to. And that guy I was telling you about, that Peter Windsor. The bits I like are it's my dirty secret, which isn't a secret at all. And I'm a total nerdy geek, and I love all the detail stuff like this. And one of the stuff he talks about is the technical side, which I love. The other thing he talks about, and he's the only one I've found that talks about the driving styles of the different drivers, hence that thing Molly was saying about when the cars are easier to drive. He was the one that was saying that it stops the best from showing their talent. And he has a couple of really good videos talking about Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen compared with fast drivers like Bottas, Perez, all this kind of stuff. And the thing they do that's different, people like Bottas and Perez, they are amazing feel and car control. Okay, so they enter a corner and it starts to go, and then they can control it. People like Lewis and Max, they do stuff with the car before you ever reach the corner to mean that it can go around it faster, and you never lose that grip.
Yeah.
You know, they settle the car, and you can tell that by the wear rate on the tyres. Because Max is super fast, as is Lewis, and both of them can look after their tyres better than their... Even if Bottas used to out-qualify Lewis, in the race would come to Lewis, because Bottas would wreck his tyres, you know, and once they're wrecked, he's got no grip anymore, whereas Lewis, not only was the tyre wear less, it was more even side to side, because he would settle the car and it would put less pressure on the outside tyres. All sorts of stuff like this, and that got me thinking. I mean, I haven't got the skill to be anything like that good, but I want to learn how to do that kind of thing, because that will be the difference between, I don't know, me always being at the back and me being at least competitive. So it's interesting you sort of like you come to that sort of conclusion yourself as well. That's really interesting, actually. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when the wheel is at 45 degree, the car is at any point wanting to spin, and I think Deep Forest, this track, has a lot of little bumps, like one that P2 is going through now as he chases Shane down in the McLaren, and the final hairpin. You know, you're going really slow, but as soon as you go over that bump, if you've got the wheel turned, it wants to spin. So you have to either keep up the accelerator or just balance the weight out a little bit more. It is very interesting.
Bug WRX also knows who Peter Windsor is, and he says Peter Windsor F1 is one of the best when it comes to F1. I agree, absolutely agree. He was the team manager for Williams in the 90s, so he knows stuff. Yeah, and he has his tech guru is a guy called Peter Scarborough, who's a race engineer. And he does some very clear, very incisive treatise, if you like, can't think of a better word than that, of any sort of technical changes in the designs of the cars. So if anyone's wondering anything about the... Oh, Power Maxi, whoa, having a bit of a moment, bless him. Yeah, mind you, I don't know about in this game, but in Gran Turismo Sport I find the NSX just a pig to drive. I don't find it easy at all. It seems nice, it looks nice, and then corners.
Indeed. Well, big shout out to Juby though for joining us, rocking the Renault RS today here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine.
Oh,
Maxi
yeah.
just in the back of that shot there of Juby, chasing Juby down for that position. And who's that? We've got just Dio. Peugeot hunting down the Honda as they make their way through the final. Left-hand kick here at Deep Forest. Up a little bit of a bump, down again. And then there's a little bit of a bump here. Right there. The brakes. Try to maximise that cornering angle. DOP6. Let's have a little bit of a look. Diaco Bub. Porsche 911 out of the brakes into turn 1.
It's very interesting. Lee has got the fastest lap, and he's after Zavicic. There's 4 laps to go, but he's 9.5 seconds behind him. This is fantastic. Can you imagine if he caught him? I mean, it'd be a hell of a shock, but amazing. But what a race! What a fantastic race!
It's been
Everyone's
amazing. I
done
really
such an
appreciate you having me
amazing
here,
job. Oh, no, thank you for asking me.
Very, very happy you're here, and big shout out to Diaco Bub. Again, if you're looking for liveries, bestlivery.com, go check it out. It gives us a flash. What a legend. Mad Matthew, Race for Ukraine, Stand with Ukraine, Team PSS, with just Dio there and Tonic in P8.
We've been asked a question by Funniest Cowboy. What is our opinion of who's going to win the Season 2 of EDTM? That's a very good question.
It's a very good question.
Different crew.
Unknown.
In the pro, I would say Holman.
Holman. BQS
yeah,
Holman.
That wouldn't surprise me, that dude is quick. BQS
Or Deck.
Holman.
Isn't Deck in it as well?
Yes, but he won't win the series. Holman is faster and more constant.
Yeah, I've just seen that
Okay.
Ryan's took the fastest lap by nearly 3/10.
I told you that.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
My
No, you
mind.
say it again. Fine. Fine. You see,
Yeah,
you're used to me interrupting you with babble, but I'd noticed that, and I was saying he's chasing down Zavicic. That's when I was saying he was chasing Zavicic down. That's why, because I noticed he got fastest lap, and he's not going to catch him in 3 laps, but he is.
Who, Dio?
No, Lee.
Lee, with you. Sorry, Zavicic is just coming up behind Dio now.
And how many laps are left?
There are 3 laps left.
3 laps left. Okay.
3 laps left. The leader is just coming up to the end of lap 60 out of 63. So
Here we go, lap 60. There it is. We're now on lap 60. 3 laps remaining from the leader, Zavicic. Christian P5 in the Ford GT. Big shout out to him. He's also streaming. Go say hello. We've got my Dutchie in PTMK in the Lexus. And Golden Crash in P3 in the beautiful Subaru. Making his way through the horrible final chicane there. And we have Mr. Lee, 8 seconds, separating himself. And he's done a really good job there. Get back up to 8 seconds of Zavicic, still pushing that Subaru, and we have Zavi still chasing Dio down. So we'll just jump on board with the legendary Luka Zavicic as he continues to chase down just Dio in the Peugeot. But yes, we'll be racing for the EDTM organised by Diaco Bub and Co. Big shout out to the DTR boys as well, but we'll be racing on the 2nd of April. I'll be racing in that one.
Jack LaMotta has appeared in my chat. Hello, Jack. Great to see you, mate.
Yeah. What a legend.
Your countryman in 3rd position, just set gone 2 seconds faster. I reckon he's turned his engine up for the last few laps. He's gone from a 129.6 to a 127.7. I think he's pretty much secure on the podium there. Golden Botto.
Indeed, racing softs. Zavicic, Dio running a little bit wide there into turn 1 here at Deep Forest as lap 62 out of 63 is on the way. We're closing in into our final lap now. Can Zavicic make it happen? Can he get just Dio on the final lap here at Deep Forest for the Race for Ukraine? Thank you to everyone that's been in here. Thank you for everyone that's been involved in chat. I do appreciate it. And thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everyone that's donated. Again, if you ever do decide to donate after, maybe you can't right now, which is the case for many. Of course, you don't have to, but the link will still be here. It will still be here on UNICEF, helping those in need in Ukraine. But it does look as though Zavicic and the Suplic is catching up. Just Dio in the Peugeot. Dio trying to get out of slipstream of rage. Zavicic, he's got a good run. Brake markers are going to be important here. He's going to have a little bit of extra speed. Softer beginning to wear. And he's on the tail end of Dio. Final lap. Can Dio hold him off? That is the question.
I've just realised Jack LaMotta is actually Burkhardt from Deutschland, not from Italy. I don't know why I thought Jack LaMotta was from Italy. Stupid.
Side by side.
Sorry. I'm good at getting people's countries completely wrong.
Hard on the brakes, and he's got that position on Dio, but Dio looks like he's got a better angle. Zavicic got a very good run there.
They're 2 seconds a lap difference in lap times, so...
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Peugeot. Not that it's a bad choice, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just not specifically a fan. I do like the rear-wheel drive cars. I think the Supra is an amazing car as well. But Zavicic making his way through the final sectors here at Deep Forest on Gran Turismo 7. So this is the time.
On the back end for me, at least on Gran Turismo Sport. I've not.
The
Peugeot.
Toyota.
The Peugeot. I find the Peugeot quite twitchy. I got hold of one in the last month and spent a bit of time driving it around, and because other people seem to like it, I just found I like a car that's quite stable on the back end, a neutral car. I like good turning, but I like neutral on the back. I mean, that's if you're rubbish, then everyone's different in what they like a good feel of. So Schumacher and Lewis, they like the back end to be a bit loose, and then they control it with the throttle.
Cut you off, Ruby, because Zavicic on his final left-hand corner, and he's going to cross that start-finish line. 63 laps in, a 90-minute endurance race there. You get a flash from Dio, the absolute legend. Zavicic showing that he is the GOAT of GT Sport with P1. Lee crossing that start-finish line here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine, taking P2-1. Incredible race from that dude. Well done in the Subaru. Golden Crash coming up towards that final chicane here. He's going to be taking a podium P3-ish here today at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine. Round he goes. Dutchy in P4, Christian P5, Dio P6, Shane P7, Dirk P8. Just wait for Mauro to cross that start-finish line here at Deep Forest.
Mauro. I grew up with two Italians, Mauro and Franco, brothers.
Mad Matthew P9, just behind Christian as they both make their way up towards the final chicane here.
Very nice
And
looking.
Jacob P10, Maxi P11, Juby P12.
Two-tone Lexus.
Today was most certainly not about position. It's about the race for Ukraine. So a big thank you to absolutely everyone that's been here. Thank you to everyone that's joined in on the races. Thank you to Rue, thank you to Diaco, thank you to Luca, thank you to Bujalina, Dio,
Pleasure.
absolutely everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure, it has indeed.
Thank you for joining us, Jack LaMotta. Thank you, Juha from Finland, funny as cowboy. The Porsche lover, likes his Possu. Good job by everybody. What a superb race that was. And you can hear how hard that was because there's a German making weird noises in my ear. we can all hear him.
Oh, I have eye cancer now.
That's the international language for thank God that's over.
Yeah, thank God that's over. You see, that was a really lonely race for me.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I saw you getting out of the way a lot of people. Oh, nasty, Andrew, nasty. I'm going to pay for that. Oh, he still did a lot better than I would have. So,
I guess.
Oh, no, I don't guess. I think I know. There's not many things I know for sure, but one of them is things like that. You know, I've watched you race a lot now.
And now we are driving for almost 2 hours, and I get 32,000 credits. Wow!
Yeah.
I know.
This must be the future. This must be the future. Incredible. Oh, and a two-star roller ticket. Oh man.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Who am I on board with? I'm with Giant Tonic. And there's a Peugeot almost trying to reverse into him. It's really weird. Oh no, they're all the same car. I think that's a glitch. Thank you everybody for doing such a fantastic job, for joining us, for racing, for making it a good, clean and exciting race. See, it is possible to have clean racing, competitive racing and exciting racing all in the same race with the same people. Just saying. Just saying, Gran Turismo Sport Mode. That was superb.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like, subscribe to me if you want, and you know that I inclined. Matt and Diaco especially, they deserve it. But also, if you can, I'm going to put the links in afterwards, obviously, to when I edit it. Donate to the charities. If you can't do that, write a letter to your MP. Write a letter to, I don't know, does writing a letter to Putin work? No idea. There must be something people can do just by trying. I don't know. I don't know, but something needs to be done.
Is Dio mad about something? Thank you, backmarker, that cost me 10 seconds.
Oh, what, sorry?
Dio has written, thank you, backmarker, that cost me 10 seconds.
Well, we can't change the past, we can only be in the present, and like I say, it is all about Ukraine today. Of course, we don't want to any films about driving, but again, we are here for Ukraine. Again, link is in the description for those that do want to donate.
Oh, bless.
But that has been incredible. That has been absolutely awesome. I'm really, really happy for those that have stuck with it and gone through a very intense race. It's been an interesting one, especially with the tying fuel. It was an interesting tactics. We've had some amazing fights. We've had some amazing action. We've got some amazing camera angles. Gran Turismo 7, yes, has a few more things. I'd like to be able to use the keyboard. I'd like to be able to put up some of the driver names, like in Gran Turismo Sport and all that kind of thing. But as it is, beautiful to be able to experience what is Gran Turismo 7 at one of my favourite tracks as a child, Deep Forest Raceway.
All right,
And we'll be racing on the 2nd of April.
This is one they've had before,
on
isn't it?
3DTM.
Yes, EDTM. Yes, indeed. And
great.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Hope to see you all there. Also you, Matt.
I'll be there, my friend. I'll be there.
Don't forget to reinstall the GT Sport.
No. No. I will get that done. No problem. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope to see everyone that's watching here today join us for the EDTM, organised by Diaco Bub. And yeah, I think that probably brings us to a close.
Dirk, hast du danach nochmal kurz Zeit? So,
Yep.
uns beide?
Yep.
Oh, you has joined our little party. That's amazing.
Hey, Juha.
It's always good to have a crazy Finn on your side.
Cowboy.
Always.
Why? It's always not good.
No, I think so. I like crazy Finns. They're good. So, okay, at that point, I'm going to end my stream.
Me too.
You guys can carry on
Bye-bye.
everything. So, I'll say ta-da to the stream. Bye-bye.